All right, we've had a catastrophic failure on our backhoe. What we got is we got a Kioti KB2475L backhoe hooked up to a CK3510 hydrostatic drive Kioti tractor. And what we have going on here is our frame broke. Let me take you down here. You can kind of see it from there. It's ugly. Yeah, it's ugly. Now, if you go around to this side, I mean, it broke all the way into here. Okay, and now you go to the other side. I don't know if you can see it, if it's showing up on the camera, but that's cracked right around the weld also. I mean, this failure is, I look at it, and basically the deal is I've owned this thing just under 2 years. The warranty on these backhoes is 1 year. Okay? So, Kioti absolutely does not have to help me out with this, even though to me it looks like a manufacturer's defect or design flaw. I mean, the way it broke. I mean, granted, this is the last, it's kind of like a pivot point that doesn't pivot, you know. This is the last support point for the entire weight of the backhoe. All the load would be right here at this point. So, if Kioti doesn't help me, my thought was, does a guy get this thing back up into its original spot, weld it, grind it, you know, weld this back together, and then grind that down, and then plate this, and, you know, weld the plate on, and you know, really reinforce this, and try and assure it doesn't happen. Although this shouldn't have happened in the first place. This is a ridiculous failure. I mean, can you imagine if you were on this backhoe, and this thing broke off, and you slid into the ditch you were digging? I mean, a guy could get killed. I mean, not to laugh at that, but this is ridiculous to me. And yeah, I don't know. Basically what we did, we called Kioti, our Kioti dealer. We sent them pictures, and they're going to send them pictures in the Kioti to see if Kioti will help us out on a new frame. Hopefully they will. You know, I'd be cool if they just like gave me a good discount on the part, because I just don't want to have to pay full price for this. Now I've kind of lost confidence in this thing. I mean, under 2 years old, and I kind of baby this thing, and it broke in half. Okay, let's go on the backstory here. Okay, so when I say I baby it, when I dig, I generally don't haul with the backhoe on. Because if you've ever driven one of these with the backhoe on, that thing, boom, 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 it bounces. And when we first bought this thing, I was like, oh man, that's no good. A guy don't like that. So whenever we had hauled dirt, I always took it off. Except this time. Okay, so what was I doing this time? The time that it broke. And I'm not saying this is the time that did all the damage. Maybe, the stress over time from digging. Because I've done a fair amount of digging. But I've owned this thing under 2 years. I got around 200 hours on the tractor total. I would say, I don't know. I guess I couldn't even hardly speculate on how many hours on this backhoe. But I dug a couple ditches, and I've been digging on a hill. But let's get to where it broke, or when the actual break happened. This ditch that you're looking at is what I was digging. Okay? Yes, it's clay, and yes, it's dry, and it's hard. But the backhoe is designed to dig, so I mean, and this is what we bought it for. So what we were doing, we're digging the clay out, setting it in this road. Because of the depth of the ditch down there, I had to go in at a weird angle to get the reach to dig the depth I needed and to throw the spoil pile off to the side. And that weird angle required me to move the dirt pile to have more room to park the tractor when I moved to do the next little section. So I left the backhoe on while I was hauling down this road. Granted, this road is not a whoop section, not at all. I would not consider driving with the backhoe on this road abuse. Then what I was doing is I was dumping the dirt in that field. I mean, so it's not like I was driving 100 miles. I was driving down this road and going to that field. And it was, I don't know, probably took me, I'm a little slow, but it took me about a day to dig this. And this was the second time I was digging on this ditch. First time I didn't dig it deep enough. But that was a rookie mistake. Learned from the error of my ways, and I corrected that and dug it deep. And I didn't actually even get to really finish this ditch because I was going to go back through and round the edge and call it done. And I got off because something just didn't feel right, you know, and I couldn't put my finger on it. You know, it was just like the tractor was like flexing. It was weird. It was like a different feeling when I was digging. So I got off and I started checking things out. And that's when I looked and I was like, oh man, she's broken half. And that's when my wife called the dealer, and we'll see. I'll put in the description when we hear back from the dealer if they're going to do anything for us. I just wanted to make a quick video and show this to you because it is something I didn't really expect. And I mean, it's catastrophic, you know. A guy that breaks, a guy could get killed, you know, if that thing broke off unexpectedly. Because I just had this thing home a week or 2 weeks ago, and we washed it. I went through it, cleaned it, inspected everything, checked everything over. You know, it's dirty now, but that's because I used it for a day. And you know, working in clay, you know, things get dirty. But I'm hoping that gets fixed because I love this backhoe. It's a digging machine. I love the way it digs and the power it has. But for the amount of money a guy spent, this thing shouldn't be busting in half on you. And especially when it's a huge safety hazard, because a lot of times I'm up here by myself digging, and I can't imagine this busting, me sliding into that hole, getting pinned underneath this thing, you know, and being by myself. You know, so it's a completely unacceptable failure. So I just wanted to show you that, show this quick disappointing update on the backhoe. Like I said, I'm hoping it's a fluke. I looked online on YouTube. I found no videos showing anything like that, at least not on a quick search of it. But unfortunately, I went on to I googled it, and in a couple of the tractor forums, there's multiple people that have had this failure with this backhoe, and it didn't look like Kioti helped them. But I still, you know, you got to try, because with the cost of that, because I'd obviously prefer to get a whole new one. With the cost of that, you got to see if they'll stand behind their product, you know. Hopefully Kioti stands behind their product and helps me out with that. But I just wanted to throw this out there, so there's one more thing for you to watch, or if you're looking at buying one, to consider. Like I said, backhoe's been great. I've had no like huge complaints, and then it broke in half. All right, well, I guess I'll wrap this up instead of keeping rambling on. But thanks for watching, and I'll let you know any updates. And if it's something I try to fix myself, if they won't warranty it, I'll make videos and I'll show you me welding that and plating that back together. All right, thanks for watching.